Here it is again, folks. True journalism with none other than the amazing Brigitte Gabriel for news you can act on. Hello, Brigitte.
Hello, Brent, and thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Today's topic is China's threat to the U.S., and in particular, the difference between how we view China and how China views us. The difference cannot be clearer than in the threat assessment report, which came out last month. The Chinese Communist Party and the U.S. intelligence community issued competing reports assessing each other last month. Matt Waters wrote a fantastic article about this in the Matt Waters New Right report. He says, China's intel report is clear and concise. The U.S. intelligence report is politically correct. Upon comparing both reports, one cannot help but get the distinct feeling that if a future war between the two nations was up on the boards in Vegas, China would be 10-1. Apparently, this analysis is not that far off the mark. Over the past decade, in U.S. war games against China, the United States has a nearly perfect record. We have lost almost every single time. The American people do not know this. Most members of Congress do not know this, even though they should. But in the Department of Defense, this is a well-known fact. Do you hear this? The U.S. has lost nearly every single time in war games against China. After reading the U.S. report, it is fairly clear the U.S. military-industrial complex has no idea what it is up against, or they are in denial, or perhaps both. The Chinese state unequivocally, quote, since 2001, the wars and military operations launched by the United States in the name of fighting terrorism have claimed over 900,000 lives, with some 335,000 of them civilians, injured and displaced tens of millions. The 2003 Iraq War resulted in some 200,000 to 250,000 civilian deaths, including 16,000 directly killed by the U.S. military, and left more than 1 million homeless. The United States has created 37 million refugees around the world, end quote. The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, names the enemy and its crimes. It's us, but the United States report is unsure of itself and the enemy. According to the 40-page U.S. report, we face two threats. First, the complex and pivotal international security environment dominated by two critical security challenges, China and Russia. The second threat, shared global challenges, including climate change and health and human security, are converging as the planet emerges from the COVID-19 pandemic and confronts economic issues spurred by both energy and food insecurity, end quote. Now, for a moment, ignore that this last statement makes no sense and ignore your concerns about the planet Earth emerging from COVID or global warming having anything to do with defending America from enemy invasion. Contrast that statement with just one assessment made by the CCP. The U.S. average military budget has exceeded $700 billion US dollars, accounting for 40% of the world's total, more than 15 countries behind it combined. The United States has about 800 overseas military bases with 173,000 troops deployed in 159 countries. 3 countries were spared because the United States did not find them on the map, end quote. And so it goes, page after page, for a tight, clear, and concise 9 pages. No mention in the U.S. report why China is an enemy. The word communism appears only one time, and that to introduce the acronym CCP. No differences between communism and capitalism, no differences between we the people and the totalitarian communists at all. No mention of the 40 million Chinese killed by Mao Zedong, No mention of forced abortions and organ harvesting, or the persecution of Christians, or the severe COVID lockdowns, which many in the US, by the way, saw as a positive policy. Why is China a threat according to the US report? They want to control Taiwan. They started building a space station in 2021. Their technological competitiveness is an issue. And they are interested in global supply chain, solar panel manufacturing, and new chip factories. Really? Is that it? The US intelligence report sounds more like a Q4 economic trade report. Allow me to yawn. Why doesn't the US intelligence agency discuss the real threat? We don't, and we put the evil Chinese regime nearly on the same level with climate change and COVID-19. The US intelligence community cites these as threats. The Chinese waste no time whatsoever on nonsense. The Chinese case against the United States is crystal clear. The US should be confronted and challenged because of their wanton use of force, looting and exploitation, and spreading false narratives. But while many three-letter agencies on our side, like DHS and FBI, cite Trump supporters, traditional Catholics, pro-lifers, election deniers, and anti-vaxxers as clear and present danger to democracy, we can still at least attend church, conceal and carry, own property, earn a decent living, and live in a relatively civil society, albeit one in moral decline first, followed by economic decline. This is why we must hold our elected officials accountable for their decision and demand that they begin investigating China and pass laws that will protect our country, strengthen our military, secure our supply chain, start developing products in America, etc. If my message resonates with you watching me right now, go to actforamerica.org and join us. Sign up to receive our action alerts and take action on our Act Now campaigns concerning China. We are empowering and engaging millions of Americans to make sure we secure our country. Go to actforamerica.org and take action right now.
You know, Brigitte, many may ask, is this just by design that it seems there's such epic weakness in our government? Our enemies are delighted at the indecisiveness and the deliberate lack of leadership. Ignoring the border included. You know, folks, it's not just Mexicans coming up to the border looking for a better life. These are third world countries, mostly countries that hate us. But this neglect of duty, this weak leadership appears to be so deliberate. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people on both sides of the aisle that are contributing to this. But Act for America, though, is leading the charge, is always ahead of the game. You know, Brigitte, when I go to the Act for America website right now, you're already ahead of the game, you know, encouraging people to contest. It says no Fed central bank digital currency. Most people don't even know about that. And we can talk about that in a bit. But China is overjoyed at our weakness. And we know America is not weak, but those at the helm seem to be just fine with letting China take the lead. Remember the days of leading from behind? That was literal in the Obama reign. And some may say we're in his third term right now as well. Just let everyone else take the stage. But in a leadership vacuum, you know very well, Brigitte, good people do not step into that leadership vacuum. Evil steps in and is very delighted at the weakness of our current administration. That's why, folks, you need to join the fight. Go to actforamerica.org and get those free action alerts right now. You can do it in under 30 seconds. Get the free action alerts and make a difference with us today.
Exactly, Brent. It's up to we, the people. I mean, the information coming out about the corruption of the Biden family, the millions of dollars deposited in their account from China, not just to Joe Biden, not just to Hunter Biden's wife, Joe Biden's brother. I mean, it's like the Biden Inc. that is paid off by China. And not only the White House, we can no longer trust our leaders. They are sold and bought by China. They are lining their pockets. They are not serving the American people. It's time now that the American people wake up and hold their elected officials responsible and accountable. Because remember, folks, squeaky wheel gets the oil. Unless these elected officials are going to hear from us, we, the people, telling them, what are you going to do about this? We deserve better as people. We deserve better as Americans. Our founding fathers gave everything, and most of them died broke to give us the country that we have today. They are rolling in their grave to see the weakness, the corruption, the lies, the cover-ups, the selling of our country. They didn't die and put everything on the line, our founding fathers, so we can be apathetic, so we can be asleep, so we can accept mediocrity, so we can accept corrupt leaders because we are too lazy to take action. We are so busy watching our reality shows, so busy focusing on where we're going to eat tonight, what new restaurant opened up in the neighborhood, or the other important news, inflation. Obviously, everybody is concerned watching the news, whether it's about inflation, whether it's about the persecution of President Trump. I mean, look what's happening. We have never seen in the history of our country what's happening right now and how the president is treated. But when you put all the news, when you look at all the news combined, put that aside and ask yourself, we deserve better as people. Is this what we're going to settle for? And unless we start speaking up, we, the good people, nothing is going to change. And that's why we created this show, News You Can Act On. We not only give you the news, we not only give you information that is not discussed in the mainstream media, but like I just shared with you about the U.S. intelligence report. I mean, Brent, you're not hearing about this on any news channel. Well, those of you who are watching us, did you hear about this anywhere else? Did you hear about that we lost in the war games against China in the last decade, 10-1? In the last 10 years, we have not won one war game against China. Our members of Congress don't even know this stuff, but the defense industrial complex does. That's why we created this show, to give you an output for your frustration, to give you something you can do when you hear news like this. Go to actforamerica.org. Make sure you sign up to receive our emails and action alerts so we can alert you when there are bills coming down for a vote in your community. And two, make sure you take action on our Act Now campaigns. You can go to Act Now National, Act Now State, and check out the campaigns on the national level as well as the state level. And number three, stand with us as a member. Stand with us financially and support our work so we can continue giving you this information, so we can continue working, searching bills, letting you know about bills coming down for a vote, and letting millions of people know. I'm Brent. I'm so happy to tell you that our audience in the last year, our members, have taken over 60 million actions on our website through the Act Now campaign. Thank you, thank you, thank you for every one of you watching right now who responded to our previous messages in previous shows and have taken action. Over 60 million actions have been taken through the website. Stand with us. We are making a difference. We need you engaged.
We are making a difference, Brigitte. It is working, folks. And you know what? You are getting the attention of representatives. It's safe to say, Brigitte, people have lost total faith in the media. Yeah. They've lost complete faith in this administration. They feel overwhelmed. Many of you feel numb. You don't know what to do. You know, does your voice really make a difference? It does. And the proof is in the pudding. They say, when you join Act for America, you sign up for the free action alerts, and you just a series of clicking buttons and filling in some information. You can contact your local representative. There's no other website like actforamerica.org. There's no other organization like Act for America. Of course, Brigitte, we know there's no one else in the world like you, and there's no other news show like News You Can Act On that you really can act on, and you really can make a difference. Your voice does matter. You are still a citizen of the greatest country on the face of the earth. She's worth fighting for, and you can take some of the time you put towards TikTok and Facebook and all those other things. And we warned you about TikTok, but you can use that time even today during your lunch hour, during your bathroom break or whatever, to make a difference and to make your voice heard. And please share it with your friends. The clock is ticking, folks. There's only so much time we have to act for America, and we encourage you to do that with us. actforamerica.org today.
Exactly right. And you mentioned TikTok. You know, we're working, there's actually on the website,
Right.
actamerica.org right now, in our Act Now campaigns, banning TikTok in the United States. You know, we are working with members of Congress. There's laws introduced already in Congress that we are pushing and working on nationwide, and including on the state level, to ban TikTok, the Chinese spyware that our kids think it's entertainment. Oh, mom, look, I've got kids. You've got kids. You know, my kids think, oh my gosh, mom, there are great things on TikTok and recipes for cooking and fashion inputs and funny jokes and this and that. It's spyware. It is spyware designed to steal information. Do you know, by the way, when somebody forwards you a TikTok, and I'm sure all of you have gotten some TikTok video to your email or via text message, something funny or some tip from TikTok, even if somebody forwards you a TikTok link to your iPhone and you click on that link and you watch that TikTok, even through that, TikTok is able to get your data on your phone and implant themselves on your phone. It is mind-boggling what they are doing. So we already know that the Chinese are stealing our secrets. They are trying to hack into the FBI. They're trying to hack into the Pentagon. We already know that the Chinese are trying to steer our military intelligence secrets, you know, in developing weapons and satellites, etc., etc. But now they are trying to track our habits, our movements, our everything. So when you go to actforamerica.org, we have so many campaigns about so many different issues that we tackle. We tackle cultural issues. We tackle issues about education. We tackle issues about standing with our law enforcement for a more secure communities. We tackle issues like stopping the defunding of the police and actually add funding to the police so they can protect our communities. We tackle issues like national security, the military, strengthening our military. We tackle issues like securing our borders, standing against the World Health Organization and exiting and defunding the World Health Organization. So you can take action on many issues. That's why I say, Brent, I learned very quickly. You know, after I wrote my books, and you know, you've seen me on Fox News, you've seen me on all news channels. I learned very quickly. We can educate and we can inform. Education by itself is not sufficient. Education must be coupled with action. I've heard it from a lot of people, and I'm sure our viewers right now, you're thinking to yourself, I know there's a problem with the country. I know there's a problem, but I do not know what to do. I feel so frustrated. I don't know what to do. I know a lot of you feel that way. Well, we created for you something you can do to channel your frustration and your love for our country into something productive, effective, that will make a difference for the country. And that's why we named the organization Act for America. Not think about America, not hope for America, not pray for America, but act for America. You can think and hope and pray, and you should. I do. I'm sure Brad does, right, Brad?
That's
and
right.
I'm sure you do, our viewers. We all love our country. We all pray for our country. We all pray for our leaders. We wish the best for our country. But you know what? Without action, nothing happens. Go to actforamerica.org, sign up to receive our emails, stand with us financially if you are able, and share our messages on our website with every single person you know. Our philosophy is this: when everyone does a little, together we accomplish a lot. When your voice is combined with the voices of millions of Americans across the country, together we can take back our country.
We can, and we must. Brigitte, we just dodged a bullet, literally, with the 87,000 armed thug army licensed to kill.
That's right.
No vetting. And folks, we're dealing with the dark ideology. We're fighting against this, that for some reason they believe they're going to tell you what they want to do. And if they're not opposed, well, then it must be right. Folks, you have to oppose evil. And it's not a matter of Democrat or Republican, although one party seems to embrace communism more than the other. But nonetheless, you must make your voice heard on both sides. I know that not all Democrats are Democrat communists, but they're not the ones driving the bus, folks. The ones driving the bus in that party and some of what we call the rhinos, they are heading in the same direction as China. You want to know why TikTok is monitoring everything that you do? That's because that's what they did to their citizens with the social credit system that you don't even know about. They have the ability to turn off the money of their citizens if they don't support who they think they should support, if they support those who may have opposing views to their communist ideology, or what. That's why they're doing this. And there's an uncomfortable connection that we have seen for a long time, even during the election that our Justice Department blocked on Twitter. The corruption regarding the Bidens. Everyone knows that they're crooks, but yet still, folks, still out of boredom, out of willful ignorance, out of laziness, or out of hopelessness, people have failed to take the action they need to take. Well, folks, this go around, you still have another chance. We can take action today. We can oppose what is on the horizon according to them. America is still worth fighting for. You know, Brigitte, I talked to a church group yesterday about you and Act for America and news.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, it was in the great state of Texas, folks. Can't beat that.
We love
spirit of
Texas.
Texas loves you, Brigitte. But we all agreed that we have to take action and that faith without works is dead. That's why you can pray, you can hope, you can dream, you can have big conventions and spend all kinds of money, and you can donate to your favorite politician. But folks, who's standing for you? Who is ahead of the game? You know, Brigitte, you remind me of someone. You know, back in the 80s, I heard of a quote, Wayne Gretzky, master of the pass, hockey player. And they said, how are you the master of the pass? He says, I don't go to where the puck is. I go to where it's going to be. Well, Brigitte Gabriel and Act for America and News You Can Act On, we go to where it's going to be. We see what's on the horizon. And folks, it's very important to see what is on the horizon and to be proactive, not victims, but proactive. And what better place can you be proactive than actforamerica.org?
Exactly. And you know, Brent, we are to the point in our country where it's us versus them. This is no longer about Republican and Democrats and libertarians and this and that. This is about those who love America, those who respect and value our Constitution, those who believe in American values, and those who hate America. It's us versus them. I mean, there are those, look how many independents and Democrats came over to the America First camp, because there are Democrats like the John Kennedy Democrats, who, by the way, would look like a conservative Republican nowadays compared to AOC and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and Presley and all the other ultra radical left in Congress. I mean, there are those, look how many of them came to the America First camp because they believe America is exceptional. America should stay exceptional. They believe in the freedom that we have. So this is no longer, oh my God, it's the Republican versus the Democrats. A lot of Democrats left the Democratic Party and they came over to the Trump side and they voted for an America First, an America that is strong, an America that is exceptional, an America that is free, an America that has values better than 99.9% of any other country on the face of the planet.
Right.
Those of us who believe in that America, it's right now between us and those who want to humiliate America, those who believe America needs to be brought down a few notches on the world stage and be on par of any other country in the world. Like, we are just like Mexico. We are just like Venezuela. This is nonsense. And it's about time people like us stand up and say, this is nonsense. Throw political correctness in the garbage where it belongs and start speaking the truth. Develop a backbone. Stand tall. You are an American holding an American passport. You stand up on American ground that has been fought for with blood so we can be free. No other nation on the face of the planet like America. It's about time we boldly stand up and defend America, fight for America, fight to preserve America. And you know, Brent, at least we don't have to fight in the snow in Valley Forge, wondering if our flag is still flying. Right now, we can fight the battle for our country, being keyboard activists on our keyboards, sitting in front of our computers, sending emails to our elected officials, signing petitions to our elected officials, calling our elected officials and expressing to them our point of view, because after all, last time I checked, I wrote that check that paid the salary for my elected official. My hard work. Not them sitting on their behind passing laws. They're supposed to be representing me and you. You wrote the check that your senator, your congressman, your state delegate is making. Their salary is paid for by your hard work. So today when you're watching me, whether you're watching me at work, whether you're watching me on your lunch break or whether you're watching us when you came home at the end of the day and you are exhausted and you just finished eating dinner and you're sitting in your family room, your hard work today paid for those elected officials so they can serve you, not the other way around. So know your strengths, know your power, know your position, know who you are as an American citizen, and know the power, the capital that our founding fathers laid at your feet. We are so rich as a nation, not because of money, but because of the Constitution that we have, but because of the power that has been given to us, to the individual, to be powerful as Americans. That's how we became the superpower of the world. That's how we became the best country in the world. Not because we were weak, not because we were afraid, not because we were cowards, not because we were selfish and lined our pocket before worrying about our nation. That's not what made America great. So if my message resonates with you, I urge you, go to actforamerica.org, join us, stand with us, and become a part of the most influential, most mobilized, most engaged, and most patriotic organization in America today. And stand with us and support us financially. We need you. America, the left has Hollywood, they have Soros, they have the tech giants, they have Silicon Valley. They even get money from outside of America. America has us. We, the American people. Act for America does not receive any public funding from the government. We do not receive any federal grants because we do not want to be muzzled by the swamp. We serve you, the American people, and we want to be able to speak together the truth so we can mobilize as many Americans who are as patriotic as we are. If my message resonates with you, go right now, go to actforamerica.org, sign up to receive our emails, join us, and support us with a financial contribution, either as a monthly patriot or with if you have a major foundation, by all means, please write us a check with a lot of zeros next to us, because you know we will put it to serve you and our country, so together we can take back our country.
You know, Brigitte, as I spoke to this group yesterday, these patriots in church, I tell you what, they all love you. They all knew you. They admire Act for America. And the thing that we agreed on was, folks, it doesn't matter what you say you believe. How you vote and how you spend your money tells who you really are. If you really love America, you'll spend it with people who love you, not hate you. You'll invest in good soil for the sake of your freedoms, the sake of your children and your children's children. It's time to take action, folks, and to put our heart and our words and our money where our beliefs are. If you still believe in America, you still love America, folks, she's still worth saving. The best way to do it, the very best way to do it, is to go to actforamerica.org. I'll say that because I believe it, because I know it. No other show like News You Can Act On, giving you the real truth, or actforamerica.org, giving you true updates of true news, but also taking action, standing in the gap for you. I think Act for America does more for citizens than politicians do, Brigitte. And without a doubt,
we literally do.
But another fantastic show. And folks, we appreciate your support. Thank you for standing with us. And thank you, Brigitte, for another incredible News You Can Act On.
Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless our incredible, exceptional United States of America.